Hey, how's it going? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to my channel. I just wanted to pop on today. Let me tell you, to be honest, I had already created a video and I decided, you know what? That one wasn't really my best self, okay? That video did not really display my little, I would say, personality. So I figured I would just do it again. And I just wanted to say, hey, I hope everything is going well with all of you and your family. And not only that, I wanted to give some little, I would say, definition to my post. I know you saw that it said I'm living life or living my best life and loving my life. It's because I had a chance to sit down today and I thought about so many things, y'all. I thought about it's been like literally almost 10 years that I have lived in Delaware. And I got to say that it hadn't always been a good, I would say, I felt a good choice in the beginning. Not because Delaware had anything going on that wasn't right. It was just more so really about me in the transition. I had started thinking about everything that I had gone through. I thought about my divorce. I thought about being an empty nester. I thought about having to close down ministry and move somewhere different, meet new friends. All of that stuff happened. And you know what? Now looking back, I have to say I am loving my best life that I'm living now. And a long time ago, I had did I think it was a podcast back in the day on one of those little, I remember back in the day they had like those little podcast apps. And the title of my message was It Had to Happen. And I was reminded of that today. And I want to remind some of you ladies out there too. You may be sitting around and starting your life over like I did so many years ago and thinking about, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How am I going to proceed to the next thing? You may not even know what you're going to do next, but you're going to make it and everything's going to work out. If you didn't have that breakup, if you didn't lose that job, if things didn't shift in your life, or if you didn't decide to quit, if you decided to step away and move to a different location, if you made those choices, guess what? It had to happen. It had to happen so that you can get to where you want to be or in your happy place now. When I think about my life story and I thought about how I was married to someone who was a narcissist, who didn't respect me, didn't appreciate me, and downright disrespected me. I look at those days now and I say, wow, I'm so glad that I'm on a different side of the coin. I am happy that I'm not sitting around wondering about this person or that person and why they're mistreating me. Knowing my worth and knowing what value that I bring to people's lives, whether it be my friends that I've met over the years or just me starting to come into who I am as a person. You see, there was a time when I did worry about what people thought. Now I know you're gonna say, "Oh, girl, I didn't think about that." No, let's just hear me out. When you're growing up and in society and the different cultures in which you live in, where you come from, you have certain shoes or certain things, the social norms, right? But then as you get older, you embrace the differences. You embrace the changes in your body, in your hair texture, in your color, all of those things. I started getting a few gray hairs and I really didn't want to go for this color in my hair, to be honest. I was just playing around, experimenting. And the more I experimented with colors, with lashes, with clothing, I started noticing that I enjoyed walking into this new place in my heart called contentment, not living with any more regrets, not thinking about what didn't go right and if I woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's no need for any of us to live on that street any longer, because if those things didn't happen to you, if you didn't get divorced, or if you didn't Let's just say somebody didn't even go to school, go to college. They took another path. Things changed for them. Whatever it was, if you didn't do those things, guess what? You wouldn't be where you are today. And just like I just put out there, hey, I'm loving life. You should live your life to the place of feeling content in your heart with where you're at. You may be starting over. You may not see it right now, the progression in your life, but it's going to get better. On other social media platforms, I've seen some women talking about, oh my God, today I walked out, I'm, leaving my marriage, or I'm leaving this behind, or I walked out of that job, or today is my last day. I gave my resignation, all of that stuff. That sadness only lasts for a minute, honey, a season. You hear me? Because when you get on the other side of that, you feel so good about your decision. I got to tell you, I didn't feel good at first when I got divorced. I didn't feel good when I had my job. I retired from my job. I didn't feel good making those transitions because you know why? We don't know what's ahead. And when you don't know what's ahead of you, you're nervous. You kind of like have that anxiety, or you got that palpitation in your heart, like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. I don't believe I made that decision. I don't believe that I made that choice. But guess what? You survived it. You survived it. And not only did you survive it, you made it, honey. You made it, girl. And you got to give yourself a pat on the back. I literally thought about it today when I got up. And I was like, wow, can you believe it? My mindset has changed. I'm not the same person that I was when I came here to Delaware. I'm not the same person that cried and boo-hooed and couldn't, eat and lost sleep because of things that was transpiring in my life. I'm looking at my life now saying, God, I thank you. Is everything perfect? No, it's not. But I have decided to embrace where I'm at, to embrace the things that I have gone through, to embrace it and use it as a badge of honor. Because if it had not happened, I would not be able to help other women. I would not be able to pour into them and to let them know that I've been down that same road. May have been a different name of the highway, but baby, I have been through some things. You hear me? And now I am on the other side of that where I'm able to discuss things with other ladies and tell them, like, girl, listen, have your moment. I'm not ever telling anybody not to have their moment, not to have that time in your life where you get to ponder the thought. But after that, honey, you can have yourself a good old party because everything that has happened to you, it had to happen. Now, I know I'm looking at the mural of everybody's life. And I'm saying, okay, I know that it's all different. I know that everybody's storyline is not the same. But even the bad things can be used for the good. Even the small changes can be used to share with somebody else. So living your best life could look like just being home on a Sunday night chilling with no one yelling in your ear, just peace and quiet. Or if you wanted to go to the movies or you spend time with your family and your friends, whatever it looks like for you, honey, you got to live your best life. As I have embraced my age, as I embrace this age of 59 years old, I had to think, like, girl, you've been through some stuff, but you don't have to stay there. You've been through some traumas, but you made it on the other side. The healing journey, it continues, but you didn't give up. You didn't quit. When people counted me out or counted you out, you did not give up. You didn't listen to the sounds or the words from the naysayers. You kept on going. You kept on pushing. You kept on moving. You kept on being in your own lane. And that's what I love the most. I love the fact that I now own the lane that I'm in. I own the lane that I'm in because so many years I've given of myself to other people. We talked about that. But embracing the changes, everything may not be as sharp as it used to be. Sometimes you got to write it down. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all ladies know what I'm talking about. You be like, wait a minute, hold that thought. Okay, let me write it down because I don't want to forget. Let me write it down because I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to forget. So let me write it down. Or how about the times when you go into a room and sometimes you be like, what am I in here for? I forgot what I was in here for. Or how many times have you decided to go outside, get in your car, but you realize you don't have your key, so you go looking for it? I mean, we all got those moments. And if you don't, as the old folks used to say, honey, if you have not gone through anything, baby, keep on living because you too will go through some changes. And so today I'm like, whoo, I am just inhaling and exhaling. There was a time when I experienced two narcissist men in my life. And the first one was my ex-husband was a little bit verbal abusive, never physical. But I didn't realize the person was very condescending. I didn't notice when it first started little digs here and there, being sarcastic or trying to belittle me, but making a little joke about it. And for a long time, I had to hold my peace. I only held my peace because I had set a plan in motion. I knew that things was coming to an abrupt halt, but I had to plan my escape, right? You know how us women do. We ponder the thought. Some of us, we do not make moves real hastily. I kind of think things through and plan how I'm going to maneuver certain things. And therefore, I realized that there were times in the car riding with that person, they would be saying things that would hurt my feelings. And I wouldn't say anything. I would just take it because in my head, I already knew that God had something better in store for me. So I went along to get along. And then after I got out of that nonsense, I met a gentleman that acted as if they were interested in a real relationship, only to discover that the person, I want to call them an imposter. I want to call that person someone who has their own childhood traumas. I'm not giving them a pass, but I'm just kind of putting it out there like that. And he was pretty much a habitual liar about everything that he wanted. And as a matter of fact, looking at the history of the person, it just kind of was like putting two and two together that the person had done this before. And so, I had to, at that time, I had to just kind of dismiss that person out of my life too and recognize that I was worth more than that. I was worth worth more to myself. I had already gotten rid of and closed the door on my past relationship of being married and embracing the fact that I can pick and choose now who I entertain and who I desire to be in my space. So y'all know what, ladies, honey, I just closed the door on that, honey, and moved on with my life. And I said, it's better to be in peace than to be in pieces, okay? Than to have your life in shambles over some nonsense. So I embrace where I'm at, and I hope that you embrace where you're at. Embrace where God is taking you. You may have to rebuild your life, but that's okay. You do brick by brick. Nothing is wasted. It had to happen. Everything that was said to you that was not good or that you didn't feel good about, every person that dismissed you or made you feel some kind of way, no matter what it was, it's time for you to live your best life. It is time for you. There was some times in my life when I felt as if um I had to accept certain things, if that makes sense, from people. But I started to think about it like this. I get to choose who has a front seat in my life. I get to choose who I put up in the balcony or who I put out the whole room. As we evolve, we embraced who we really are at the core of our being as women. Loving who you are is not an easy task all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, because I can hear some of you, oh, I love myself. I love me. Hear what I'm saying. We have to shut out the chatter. Get rid of the chatter and get into a place to find out what you really like. Who are you at the core? When I got out of everything that I was in relationship wise, I had to discover myself, rediscover who am I? What do I like? Where do I like to go? What do I like to do? And therefore, women who are starting over, don't feel bad about trying to gain your footing. Don't feel bad about being afraid of being alone or being afraid of starting over in a new career, maybe relocating, maybe deciding to take a trip by yourself, going out to eat some dinner by yourself. Whatever it is that's in your spirit to do, it is a time of discovery of the person that you are becoming, that you are evolving to. I've been using this word lately called bloom because bloom means to flourish. And I have embraced the fact that I'm blooming and knowing that from biblical perspective, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And so are you. Rest assured that no matter what or the price you had to pay, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, it was well worth it. Because along this journey, those things that happened to us, to you, to me, it made us who we are today. We have discovered who we are. I'm discovering who I am, and I hope you embracing where you are because you are a hidden treasure. You are worth loving. And at certain stages of life, we're not looking for people to validate us. And I think that's another little nugget that I have just kind of took a hold of. No longer, and gone are the days that, oh, I don't think they'll like that if I put this color with that color, if I wear this or if I wear that. I don't think that they'll embrace it. I don't care. There are times I do stuff to my hair or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I really don't like that, but I'm gonna wear it today. But it's your choice. It's an individual thing. It's an individual thing. This is an individual walk that only you can walk, honey. And you better do that thing in style. At the core of it all, it is time for you to bloom. It's time for you to evolve. It is time for you to elevate your mindset because nothing that has happened, nothing that has happened can hold you back from your destiny. My desire is to create the content that will affirm and validate and confirm some things that you know is happening in your life. Being a woman over 50 years old, it takes courage, it takes boldness to start over. And you do it afraid sometimes. You do it lovingly sometimes. You gladly walk into a new place. That's the confidence that we have in this season of our lives. I pray that that's what you're doing, because I sure enough am embracing where I'm at with my quirkiness. You have to embrace everything about you, your quirkiness, your creativity. If you love style, and I'm just experimenting with those things, because for so long I was always embracing and doing things for other people and making them happy. And not to say that I did not enjoy it, but just the fact that it was always me putting other people first. And I welcome me now. I welcome the choices that I want. If I do or if I don't, if I will, if I won't, whoever, whatever, wherever. If I want to work this job, if I don't, I have my own careers, my own entrepreneurships and adventures that I'm on. I do counseling, all of those things, which makes us the women that we are, right? We are women who multitask all the time. But on the journey that you're on the lane, on the level that you're on, make sure that you are loving the life that you are in, that you're walking in this stage of the game. Okay? So I just wanted to say once again, I appreciate each one of you that comes on in and drop by every now and then to listen to what I have to say here and there. I hope that you gain some nuggets. You can leave me some comments and all that good stuff. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I tell you, I welcome you all here. I tell you, it's just like family. I feel like sisters, right? So I just wanted to yeah, just let y'all know. Just turned 59. And I truly am. I'm loving life. And I hope that you are too. All right. Y'all have a good one. Make sure you subscribe.